Wisdom in South Sudan was like the flowing waters of the Nile. It was cherished, it was necessary, and it was kept safe in the minds of our elders. Why? Because the elders knew where the waterholes hid during droughts, and they understood the secret language of the stars. But a generation of young warriors rose up, strong, fast, and arrogant. Looking at the wrinkled skin and the slow movements of the old men, the youth asked a dangerous question. Why do we share our food with those who cannot hunt? Why do we listen to those who can no longer hold a spear? They did not understand that a spear only strikes what is in front of it, but wisdom sees what is behind the next hill. Believing raw strength was the only truth, the young warriors made a terrible vow. They would rid the village of the past to build a stronger future. But one young man, Dut, looked at his father's eyes and could not do it. Why? Because his father was his connection to his lineage. To kill him was to become rootless. So Dut defied the order. He secretly moved his father to a hidden cave among the rocks, visiting him only when the moon was dark. The young men rejoiced, believing their burden was gone. They did not know that they had just invited catastrophe. Soon after, a shadow fell over the land. A great snake, ancient and coiled with malice, slithered into the village centre. It did not strike immediately. Instead, it wrapped its thick, muscular body around the neck of the young warrior's chief. It tightened, slowly. The strongest warriors tried to attack the snake, but it only tightened its grip, suffocating their leader. If they stabbed the snake, they would stab their chief. If they pulled it, the chief's neck would break. Their strength was useless. Their weapons were dangerous. They had no answers. In that moment of terror, they realized their arrogance. The strong could fight, but they could not think. They were alone, and they were lost. The chief was dying. The warriors were helpless. Their strength was no match for the subtle malice of the great snake. Desperate and drowning in fear, Dut's secret burned in his heart. Why? Because he knew that his choice, the choice to preserve life, might now be the only choice that could save them. Risking death for disobedience, Dut raced to the hidden cave. He fell before his father, weeping, and told him of the python that held their future by the throat. The old man did not panic. He sat quietly for a moment, his eyes looking back into memory. Why? Because he was searching for a time long ago when his own elders had told him the nature of the python. He finally looked at his son and smiled gently. "Go back," the old man said. "Do not use spears. Do not use fire. The snake is greedy. It is not there to kill, but to dominate." He gave Dut a specific strategy. Why this strategy? Because wisdom knows how to fight a shadow, not with a weapon, but with light. Dut returned to the panicked village. "Listen to me," he shouted. "I have the answer." The young warriors, humbled by their failure, listened. Following his father's instructions, Dut rubbed a young goat with honey until it was sweet and sticky. Slowly, carefully, they led the goat to the centre of the village. Why? Because the elder knew that the python's appetite always overcame its aggression. The moment the goat was near, the snake's tongue flicked. It smelled the sweet honey. Its coils began to loosen, not because it was forced, but because it wanted. Slowly, the ancient creature unwound from the chief's neck and slid across the ground, drawn irresistibly toward the bait. As it consumed the goat, it became bloated and heavy, and the warriors were finally able to end the threat. The chief, gasping for air, demanded to know how Dut had found this strategy. Why did Dut confess? Because the truth was more valuable than his own safety. He revealed that his father was still alive. The young men were not angry. They were filled with shame and wonder. They had seen that an old man sitting in a cave who could not even stand possessed more power than all their spears combined. They fetched the father and brought him back with honours. And never again in South Sudan did the youth question why we honour the wisdom of the elders. For the hair of an old man is not white for nothing.